Okay, so it's time for a new video, and this is the second in a series of what will be about 3 or 4 videos talking about this year's upcoming Eurovision Song Contest. Yesterday I posted the first video in this series on my Facebook writing page, and earlier today I also put that video unedited on YouTube. And for these videos only, I will not only be posting them on Facebook but also on YouTube at pretty much the same time. So the same applies. Feel free to leave comments and feedback. Any opinions are much appreciated, because as I said in yesterday's video, I'm actually going to be writing about the contest for university this year, and it's possible that I may include 1 or 2 views from other people in my work when I get around to doing it later in the month. So everything is much appreciated. Today I'm going to be talking about the semi-final 2 participants. The semi-final, the second semi-final, is next Thursday. That is the 11th of May. If you're in the UK, it will be on 8 PM to 10 PM live on BBC4 with commentary from Scott Mills and Mel Giedroyc. The same applies to the first semi-final. Same commentators, same time. So I'll go through each song, briefly talk about how I think the song is going to do results wise, and in another video, which may be tomorrow, I will talk about the automatic finalists, including the UK. So, semi-final 2. Song 1 is Serbia. This is In Too Deep by Tijana Bogicevic. Serbia have won once in 2007, which was actually their debut entry as an independent nation. It's also the most recent winner not in English. This song is fairly contemporary, but I think it left a lot of people underwhelmed when it was revealed. There were high expectations for Serbia. This is going to do very similar to last year's Serbian entry, I think, in that it's a pretty good song, but it just won't get the points. Also, I was very disappointed, as were many, with Serbia's first rehearsal in Kiev the other day. Didn't look particularly interesting. There's a random dancer, which I think is just a distraction. I'm not sure he's needed, although there is one in the music video. Also, vocals not great, so work needed. Song 2 is Austria, who have won twice in the past. This is Nathan Trent with Running on Air. This is a very cheery, upbeat number, maybe a bit too twee for the neutral viewer, but he's got a great voice. He was actually in the running to represent Germany at one point, but then he crossed over to Austria. The staging, he's standing on a crescent moon structure, and there's sort of a dreamy backdrop, pastel-like colours. A lot of people enjoying Austria. Will it qualify? I'm not sure, but based on what I have seen so far, which isn't very much, I think it probably could. Song 3 is Macedonia. They haven't been in the final for years, they've never won. They're represented by Jana Burčeska with Dance Alone. This is a really strong entry from Macedonia. Usually they send something that's a bit dated. This is much more modern, up-tempo. Unfortunately, she is not the best live singer. Vocals were shaky in the rehearsal the other day. Visuals look fine. Obviously, I think she's trying to fit in with the theme of the song. She's the only one that I could see on stage, hence Dance Alone, that sort of thing. But she could do with other people around her. So it will be interesting to see the second rehearsal tomorrow, I think it is, and if there are any major changes. Will it qualify? Hopefully, because it's one of my favourites, but needs to be better live, I'm afraid. Song 4 is Malta. They've never won, came close twice in the past. Claudia Faniello with Breathlessly. It's a ballad. Staging is very simple, as it should be. She's got a great voice. Her brother has represented Malta twice in the past, and she has tried many times in the past also, but finally won the national final this year. Bit of a surprise that she did. It's okay. but early on in the running order, it's a slow song, and although pleasant enough, I just don't think it will get nearly enough points to go through to the final. A great shame, because I'd like to see Malta win at some point. Song 5 is the Love It or Loathe It entry, a returning country in the form of Romania. They've never won. Best result is 3rd on 2 occasions. This is Yodel It by Ilinka and Alex Florea. Ilinka is about 18 years old, and yodeling is her thing. She was on The Voice Romania, as was Alex Florea in a different year, I think. He's more of a rapper. As I said earlier, she's a yodeler. 2 interesting combinations right there. The song is very catchy, it has to be said. A bit repetitive, but very catchy, quite likeable. It's in English. And I think neutral viewers will just be confused by the whole thing, because you think it would be someone like Switzerland that would do yodeling. But no, this is the Romanian entry. And I just really like it. I think the staging is a bit messy, sort of like lots of different colours in the chorus at the end, and there's cannons, which I think are going to shoot confetti at people. Don't think that's necessary, but the song, it's not poor. Vocals were fine. I'm sure it will be better in the second rehearsal. Song 6, what a great dark horse this is. This is the Dutch entry, the Netherlands, O Jean, Lights and Shadows. 3 sisters. They've represented the Netherlands in Junior Eurovision before, many years ago. They are a really successful, popular Dutch band. When the song was revealed, people were saying, oh, they're amazing live, they're going to slay in the contest, and I must say, what a fantastic rehearsal the other day. Amazing voices live. I think it's a very underrated song, and hopefully it will be in the final and do very well. It's a ballad that isn't really slow, so there's a bit more, oomph to it, and it certainly builds up. Yeah, hopefully it won't be underrated. But the Dutch, they were last year in the public vote, so who knows. Song 7, Hungary, worth keeping an eye on. This is Origo by Yoshi Papai. Might be butchering his name there, I apologise. Origo is Latin, but the song is in Hungarian, and it sounds like he's mumbling the lyrics, but he's not. This is a very sort of traditional entry. I think it's staged very well. It's quite a classy looking performance. There's a bit of dancing, there's a bloke with a violin on the outer stage. It's a grower. It's not one of my favourites, but I like it a lot more than I did. And Hungary, I'm sure, will be in the final. Song 8 is Denmark, all about the voice. This is Anja Nielsen with Where I Am. Denmark have won 3 times in the past. Hungary never have, by the way. Anja is Australian. She won The Voice Australia a couple of years ago, and here she is representing Denmark. There's one thing that's very bad about this performance, and it's the outfit. She's wearing some sort of jumpsuit, I think that's what you call it, and it looks as though it's been taken straight from 1976. It looks totally wrong for the entire look of the performance. But like the Dutch song, it's a ballad, but it's not super slow. Great, great voice. One of the best singers this year, although she might be trying a bit too hard at times to really impress with her vocals. I don't think that's needed. But Denmark, who were not in the final last year or the year before, they should be back in the final this year. Really terrific, strong song. Song 9, Ireland. If you think the UK are bad, well, Ireland are even worse. They're represented by Brendan Murray, Dying to Try. Another young performer. It's a ballad, but this, like the Dutch song again, bit of a dark horse. He's got a very high-pitched voice. The staging is just nonsensical to me. He's in a hot air balloon, and the whole backdrop just seems too dark for this type of song. It's like 2 different... It's like he's performing, but the visuals are for another song. It just seems very strange. But I like it more than I did. Ireland could well qualify with this. I think the jurors will like it more than the public. But the staging is quite dull. Song 10 is San Marino, Spirit of the Night. Valentina Monetta and Jimmy Wilson. Jimmy Wilson's American. Valentina Monetta is representing San Marino for the 4th time. This is very dated disco. It's quite cheesy. Think a B-side for Steps back in the 1990s. And you've probably got something like this. It's not that strong at all, even though it's a colourful performance and it's quite catchy, I suppose. It's really, really weak, and I just don't see it getting many points at all. Song 11 is Croatia, My Friend by Jacques Hudek. He's a big star in his own country. Many people love him for his voice, and he is a very good singer. He impressed me in rehearsals. Unfortunately, the song is like 2 songs in one. He's singing in English, and then all of a sudden he goes Italian, and a very deep voice indeed. And it's the first time you hear it, it's like, what? That's very strange. Cheesy, yes, but actually this is gaining a bit of support now, and actually could well qualify. He is a very good singer. Not one of my favourites, but certainly not one of the poorest of the year either. Song 12 is Norway, who weren't in the final last year. This is Joust, who is a bloke, if you're wondering, with Grab the Moment. I didn't think much of this when it won the Norwegian national final, but actually I think they sent the right song. It's quite modern. There's sort of electronic elements to it, I would say. Staging is very similar to how it was in the national final, with pink lighting and all that stuff. I'm going to use the phrase dark horse again because I really think it is. Saying that, it's a tough semi-final. This is much tougher than the first semi-final to predict. And it would be a bit of a disaster if Norway did not qualify for the 2nd year in a row. We'll see what happens. But the rehearsal was pretty solid. Song 13, Switzerland, who came last in the semi-final last year and the year before. They have won twice before, most recently with Celine Dion. Norway have won 3 times in the past, if you're wondering. Switzerland are represented by Time Bell, who could well represent Romania because the lead singer's Romanian. The song is called Apollo. Really good song. Really pleasant song, but maybe too bland for the contest. Switzerland usually are quite underrated. Not only that, the staging was really quite poor, sort of Beauty and the Beast, in the sense that she was wearing an Emma Watson style yellow dress. Clouds on the backdrop just didn't really look very appealing at all. Too sickly sweet perhaps. But I really like the song, and I hope the Swiss qualify. Song 14 is Belarus. They've never won. The song is called Story of My Life, but the whole song excuse me, is in Belarusian. The first Eurovision entry ever to be in that language. It's performed by the Navi Band, guy and girl. This is folk. Very cheery, very happy. The colour scheme for the performance was mainly blue. There could be a lot more colour going on, and maybe there is because we only saw about 30 seconds of each rehearsal the other day. But it's very catchy, very likeable, and you don't have to know Belarusian to enjoy the song. I think it has quite a lot of support actually. Could well qualify. Song 15 is one of the big favourites. It baffles me as to why. Bulgaria, Christian Kostov with Beautiful Mess. Bulgaria have never won. They made their debut in 2005 in Kiev, made the final in 2007, came 5th. The next time they made the final was last year, came 4th, and they'll probably be in the final again this year and finish in the top 5. Christian is the first person in Eurovision history, I believe, to have been born this century. He's got a good voice, he's quite a likeable person. The song is quite professional, it's a ballad. But I've never really liked it that much, and I'm not sure why it is as popular as it is. I'd like to know why. I don't think it's a winner, but I'm sure it will do very well. Could win this semi-final. Song 16 is Lithuania. Lithuania have never won, finished in the top 10 last year. Their national selection goes on for months. So many songs in the running. It is a marathon-like competition. The winner was a massive disappointment. Fused Mark is the name of the band. The song is called Reign of Revolution. The staging is similar to how it was in the national final. The lyrics are pretty weak. She's mainly shouting yeah, yeah, yeah throughout most of the song. But the rehearsal was pretty good. I've got to say, it's not to everybody's taste, but it is different and it does stand out quite a bit, so might be worth keeping an eye on Lithuania as well as Hungary, like I mentioned earlier. Song 17 is Lithuania's next door neighbours, Estonia. The song is called Verona and it's performed by Koit, Tume and Laura. Laura was part of Sun Tribe, who represented Estonia. The last time the contest was in Kiev in 2005, but they didn't make the final. Koit Tume represented Estonia in 1998, the last time the contest was held in the UK, in Birmingham. This is a ballad, I suppose. The staging is okay, but lots of people commentating on how the chemistry between these two singers is not that good at all. Whether it's just the fact that they're on stage and they're trying to deliberately give off this frosty atmosphere to fit in with the song and the lyrics and everything, I don't know, but the chemistry between the two doesn't seem that great. And other people have noticed it too. They're good singers, the song is not bad, maybe a little overrated though, should qualify, should do well. The song's actually written by Sven Loimus, who's written a bunch of Eurovision songs over the years for Estonia too. And finally, song 18 is Israel, who have won 3 times in the past. The song is called I Feel Alive by Imri. This is catchy, upbeat, red colour scheme. Yeah, a lot of people are going to like this. It's got a bit of a clubby vibe to it. Lots of people will be dancing to it. He's a pretty good singer. Yeah, not much else to say. Israel should qualify with ease. So there we have it. In terms of who's going to qualify, Israel, yes. Bulgaria, yes. Denmark, yes. Hungary, yes. Romania, I'm sure they will. The Netherlands, yes. Serbia, yes. And then I don't know about the others. I'd say Norway. My alarm clock's going off again. This happened yesterday, excuse me. There we go. Sorry about that, but Austria, yeah, maybe. Norway, maybe. Switzerland, I hope so. Macedonia, I hope so. But it's a really tough semi-final. I think we can say San Marino won't. But then, it's up for grabs. It really is after those rehearsals. I'm currently keeping an eye on rehearsals at the moment because the semi-final 1 participants are doing it again today. We're seeing the whole thing. Paul Blanche from Belgium. Man. Have they blown their chances? I don't know. I'll be talking more about that in a future video. Like I said, any comments you have over the semi-final 2 participants, let me know. I apologise for waffling so much. Hopefully you understood me. And the next video will be talking about the automatic finalists. Ukraine, the UK, France, Spain, Germany, and the big favourite to win, Italy. And I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching.